Korea, statistics, rankings, news.
News. Views. Interviews. Education news. Politics. Showbiz. Only on SNB News.
Welcome to Korea Muslim Federation. Imam Abdurrahman. Welcome to Korea Muslim. Saudi ambassador.
It's an honor to meet you in person.
Excellency welcomes Korean Muslim Federation and Seoul Central Musjid.
Last year, commemoration. Last year, welcome you.
And thank you so much also for His Excellency Dr. Sami Al-Satan, the Ambassador of Saudi Arabia, and also for Her Excellency Ms. Reem Al-Sayabi, the Deputy Head of Oman, and also for Councillors, Social Affairs Councillor of Turkey. Thank you for coming today. And Doctor, it was a great honor for us to have you here last year, and the lecture you gave us meant a lot to us. And also this year, we cannot be happier to have you again here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, and Madam, and the distinguished guests, my dear Muslim brothers and sisters. On behalf of the Korean Muslim Federation, it is my honor to welcome His Excellency Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, former Prime Minister of Federal Malaysia. It is our great honor to have an opportunity to listen to remarks by a great eminent leader of the world. Actually, last week, I attended a halal beef launching event at the Mandarin Hotel in Kuala Lumpur. Taking this opportunity, on behalf of the Korean Muslim community, I would like to express my gratitude to the Jakim Authority concerned of the Ministry of Religious Development of Malaysia, who strongly support the development of the halal industry in Korea. Personally, I like Kuala Lumpur as a truly beautiful garden city. I was particularly too much impressed by the new city Putrajaya, which was planned by under Your Excellency's eminent leadership during your tenure. Really, Your Excellency have a piercing eye. As my personal opinion, Putrajaya new city is more beautiful than Washington, D.C. I would like to conclude my remarks by quoting a Malaysian proverb, "Titak konal maka titak cinta," which I understand means, without knowing you, I cannot love you. Since I have begun to know Malaysia better by being here, I think I'm falling in love. Lastly, once again, I would like to extend my gratitude for Your Excellency's visit to the Korea Muslim Federation. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, President Hussein. Next, we will now be watching a short video of introducing Korea Muslim Federation. Thank you for paying attention to the video. Now, the most important, which is the core of today's event, we will be now listening to the lecture from Dr. Mahathir. Please, Doctor, take your seat.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. His Excellency, the Ambassador of Saudi Arabia to Korea, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad to be back here in this mosque again this year. I see that the Muslims in Korea have been very active. According to the view just now, there are 20 mosques in Korea. Korea, of course, is not a Muslim country. Therefore, we have to understand that in many places, our relation with other people, with other Muslims, with other countries, there are guidance to be found in the Quran, but we generally do not follow. We try to act and force our views on others. Countries. We have to respect their religion. If we want to be respected by them, we have to respect them as well. But if we insist on being different, then of course it would seem that we are not friendly, and because we are not friendly, people are not attracted to the teachings of Islam. We need to have a very friendly attitude. But Korea is a country. Lots of Christians here. Of course, there are people of Buddhist faith and other faith, but there are a lot of Christians here. Unlike Malaysia, Malaysia is a multi-religious country, multicultural, multi-racial and multi-religious country. We have to live with people of other faith, other religions. And in Malaysia, we tolerate the practices of other religion. That is why in Malaysia, despite the people following different teachings of religion, where we have both Islam, Christian, Hindus, Buddhists, Taoists, and a lot of other religion, we are able to live at peace with them. We do not attack them, we do not insult them, we do not force them to accept the teachings of Islam. However, it is our duty to attract people to accept Islam. The way to attract people is not to force them, but to show that Muslim people are successful people. This is how the Christians attract people. For example, when the Christians came to Malaysia, what they did was to build schools and also hospitals. Not to convert people, but to build schools and hospitals. And of course, schools and hospitals attract the local people. And when they see the goodness of the Christian preachers, they get attracted to that religion. We sometimes do not do that. We try to force people by forcing them, by explaining that Islam is a great religion. Yes, Islam is a great religion. However, many Muslims do not practice the teachings of Islam. When we have other religions in our country, we have to tolerate them. Because if you don't, then in other countries where Muslims are a minority, you will not be tolerated. Sometimes, of course, we like to mix up what is customary in our country with that of Islam. The dress code, for example, there are certain things that are prescribed by Islam, but many of us wear the dress that is typical of our own country. Sometimes when we migrate, we may adopt the dress code of others without neglecting the teachings of Islam. Yes, women must be covered and must have their head covered. You can do that, but the rest of the body, as long as you cover the aurat, that is in accordance with the teachings of Islam. So you don't show that you are very different from the local people. You can accept some of their ways, some of their dress code, but of course you have to keep faith with the code that is prescribed for Muslims. If we do that, then people will not think of us as strange people who have a different religion. They will come close to us. We have to be friendly with them, and we can show that the friendship is what is promoted by Islam. At the same time, of course, as I mentioned just now, Muslims must be successful people, successful in business, successful in social life, successful in the acquisition of knowledge, in the discovery of new knowledge, new technologies, etc. If we are ahead of other people, then people will be attracted to us. I understand that there are many Muslim students who have come to Korea because they find that the Koreans are very far ahead in terms of technology, and they want to acquire that technology. But we find very few people going to Muslim countries except for the Muslims. For the Muslims, of course, there may be religious places that we visit, like we want to go to Mecca, Medina, and other places, holy places. But for non-Muslims, if they come to our country, they should see our country being well governed, being fair to all, obeying the rules of law, and being able to develop the country very well. And when we show signs of success of the Muslims and the Muslim countries, people will be attracted to Islam and maybe embrace Islam. That is the better way of da'wah than merely to tell people that if you embrace Islam, you will go to heaven. If not, you will go to hell. This is a common way of preaching. But the preaching that is more successful is when you show that Muslim countries are well governed, obey the rule of law, develop the country well, be fair to everyone, stick to the rule of law all the time. All these things are positive things which, if we display, we Muslims display, will be part of our da'wah, our attempts to spread the teachings of Islam. So I hope that the Muslim community in Korea, which is a minority community, will find ways to make people accept us and not to show too much of our difference, but to show that we can live in a foreign country and be at peace with the people of that country. And more than that, if we can contribute by way of research and development, by way of improving industries, we will in the end influence more people to be close to Islam. So I will stop there. And will there be a question?
Thank you so much for your lesson, and I personally feel that I'm very touched with you saying that tolerance, respect, and success are the keywords of Islam. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all in this beautiful Friday. Truly, it is a great honor to have you once again here in KMF. Thank you so much for coming and visiting us and giving us great speech and advice, My Excellency. Simply, my question is, how did you balance and manage your work, in between your work and your life with your family, and also giving da'wah for non-Muslim people? Thank you.
Like everybody else, we have to work. We have to work to make a living, but at the same time, we have to also contribute towards our community, our country. And in my case, I became very interested in politics, and for that reason, I was very active in politics, and eventually, of course, I rose to become the Prime Minister of the country. As Prime Minister, of course, I cannot pay as much attention to my family. My family has to accept that I spend more time on my political duties than my own family. But they understand. They accept that I cannot be with them all the time. And because they were very tolerant of my spending my time in politics, I have no family problem. Once in a while we meet on certain occasions, on during Fitri, for example, we would meet and get to know each other again. But otherwise, I'm quite free to focus, to concentrate on politics, because they understand that this is a duty that I have to give to my own country, to see that the Muslim country can prosper as much as any other country. Thank you.
What the Malaysian Muslim people, they are from Islam exactly, or as a government side, they do their best, or what kind of things they do to give some education or some things people can follow to Islam perfectly.
I would like to point out that in Malaysia, the Muslims only make up 60% of the population, only 60%. The rest of the country are made up of people of Chinese, Indian origin, and they profess other religions. There are Christians, there are Buddhists, there are Hindus, and the like. So we have, whether we like it or not, we have to live together in one country. If we keep on fighting each other, the country will not be able to be at peace, we will not be able to develop. So tolerance is something that we promote in Malaysia. And tolerance is something that our religion of Islam promotes. Islam believes in tolerance. God could make the whole world Muslim if Allah wants to, but He has created people of different religions, etc., so that we can live and get to know them. But we are not asked to fight against them.
State. So my question is, as a Muslim, you are also musicians, I mean the scientists, as far as I can see your profile or CV. The first thing, how do you manage your science personality with politicians?
To the rule of law, and the law does not permit us to force people to convert or to force people to follow the teachings of Islam. So a sense of tolerance on the part of Muslim is very important. Can you imagine a religious person says, we should kill other Muslims because they are not Muslim enough? Where in the Quran does it say that? The Quran says they do it in their own way. Maybe the Shia does not conform with what the Sunnis do, but we have to be tolerant of each other. And Malaysia are all Sunni Muslims, but we are not anti-Shia. But generally people follow only the teachings of Sunni teachings in Malaysia. So we have been able to sustain a stable and peaceful country ever since we became independent.